She didn't just have my truck towed. She ordered her handyman to cut my main electrical lines at 3 in the morning while my 16-year-old daughter slept inside. Sparks lit up the night, the smell of burning insulation filled the air, and Linda Hartwell, the president of our HOA, came within inches of killing us both. What she didn't know was that I'm a master electrician with military-grade security cameras, and every second of her little murder attempt was captured in crystal-clear footage that would one day put her away for good. My name's Jake Morrison. 3 years ago, I thought I had life figured out, small business owner, decent house in Willowbrook Estates, a wife I adored, and a daughter I'd do anything to protect. Then, cancer ripped Sarah away in 8 brutal months, leaving me to raise Megan alone. She's stubborn like me, smart like her mom, and that combination means she doesn't take crap from anyone. We moved into Willowbrook to heal, to build some kind of peace. For a while it worked. Barbecue smoke, in the evenings kids playing ball in the streets, neighbors borrowing tools like it was still the 90s. That peace lasted until Linda Hartwell slithered in. Picture a Botox-addicted, brunch-obsessed Karen with a clipboard and too much time on her hands. That's Linda. She bought the biggest corner lot after losing her $1 million mansion in foreclosure when her husband got nailed for embezzlement. Within 6 months, she'd conned the sweet old HOA president into stepping down and crowned herself Queen of Willowbrook. Suddenly, we had more rules than a nuclear plant grass measured with rulers' trash bins photographed like crime scenes, sprinkler schedules timed down to the minute. But rules weren't Linda's real weapon. She targeted people, blue-collar families, single parents, anyone who didn't fit her fantasy country club suburb. Maria Santos got fined for a Virgin Mary statue Tom Bradley's work van magically became illegal, and Mrs. Morgan was warned for speaking too much Spanish on her porch. And then Linda turned her sights on me, the widowed electrician with a beat-up work truck and a teenage daughter who asked too many questions. The first strike came with a violation notice. My truck's bumper extended 6 inches onto my own grass. I explained I couldn't park on the street. It carried $15,000 worth of tools. Linda just smirked and said, "Rules are rules, Mr. Morrison. Perhaps you should have considered that before choosing this profession." The way she spat out profession like it was a disease told me exactly what she thought of people like me. I could feel Sarah's roses watching me that day, her memory rooting me to the ground, reminding me I wasn't going to be bullied out of my own home. But nothing prepared me for the night Linda crossed the line from petty tyrant to would-be killer. 3:17 a.m. I'm replaying security footage, and there she is in designer pajamas directing Marcus Torres, her nervous handyman, to cut through my electrical feed. His hands shook so badly he nearly electrocuted himself, sparks flying like angry fireflies. If Megan had flipped a switch at the wrong time, she'd be gone. $4,000 in damage, a week of lost work and insurance that wouldn't touch it. At 7 a.m., sharp, Linda showed up with coffee and croissants, acting like neighbor of the year. Oh, Jake, these old houses. So dangerous for people who don't understand proper maintenance. She handed me a pastry like she hadn't just tried to murder us. That's when I realized she wasn't just drunk on power, she was a sociopath. I could have gone to the cops right then, but something in me snapped. I wasn't going to run, I was going to end her. So I dug through months of footage fueled by spite and gas station coffee. And what I found was a suburban crime wave, Marcus salting Maria's roses, pouring sand into Tom's gas tank, smashing statues, redirecting gutters to flood basements. All of it done with surgical precision like someone had written a sabotage manual. That someone was Linda. When my own basement flooded after a storm, $15,000 worth of tools ruined Sarah's photo boxes. Destroyed, Linda appeared at 9 a.m. with a clipboard. Standing water violation $500, payable immediately. I stood there, dripping wet teeth, clenched, staring at the woman who had just drowned my memories. For a second, I wanted to sell the house, pack up Megan, and get as far from Willowbrook as possible. Maybe Linda was right. Maybe I didn't belong here. I sat in my truck that night staring at Sarah's roses under the porch light and whispered, "Am I failing you? Am I failing our daughter? For a moment, I almost believed it. But then I found Linda's handwritten work orders in her trash detailing every act of sabotage like she was planning a military campaign. And I knew I couldn't walk away. I confronted Marcus at a gas station, ready to tear him apart. But the man broke down in tears. Linda was blackmailing him, holding his sister's immigration papers, threatening to call ICE if he didn't obey. He wasn't a villain. He was another victim. That flipped a switch inside me. I wasn't just fighting for myself anymore. I was fighting for every family Linda had crushed. That's when Donald Pierce stepped in, retired federal prosecutor, 72 years old, sharper than a razor blade. He looked at my footage at Linda's notes and said, "Son, this isn't HOA harassment. This is organized crime, mail fraud, extortion, conspiracy. We're talking federal time." He became my general, I became his soldier, and Marcus became our secret weapon. Linda's downfall started with a wire. Marcus agreed to wear federal recording equipment, pretending he was ready to torch my workshop. What Linda said next made my blood run cold. Tonight, Marcus, burn it down. Make it look electrical. And if Jake or his daughter happen to be inside, well, accidents happen. Hearing my daughter's life reduced to an accident nearly broke me, but the FBI needed her words, so I bit down my rage. The next morning, Marcus walked into Linda's house wired up like a spy. Through the live feed in my garage, I heard Linda's voice drip venom. "That electrician is working-class trash. His wife did us a favor by dying. Now finish the job." My fists slammed the table. I couldn't take it. I stormed out the door, shouting across the street, "Federal wiretap, you monster." Every word's going straight to the FBI. Linda's eyes went wide. Then she made the worst mistake of her life. She pulled a gun and shoved it against Marcus's head. In seconds, Willowbrook turned into a war zone. Sirens wailed. FBI agents swarmed neighbors, spilled out with phones recording. Linda stood on her porch, waving a pistol, screaming about property values like it was an HOA meeting gone nuclear. Mrs. Morgan live-streamed Tom Bradley positioned tactically behind his truck. Even the damn mailman stopped to watch. Then Megan, my fearless kid, stepped forward with a bullhorn. Her voice cut through the chaos. "You tried to murder my dad. You threatened our home. But this neighborhood isn't about perfect lawns. It's about people protecting each other." The crowd went silent. Linda's hand shook. And then she pointed the gun at my daughter and spat, "Your mother was white trash and so are you." That was it. The sniper team fired, dropping her before the words finished leaving her mouth. Linda hit the grass, handcuffed, still shrieking about jurisdictional procedures as they dragged her away. Marcus collapsed in relief. The neighborhood exhaled as helicopters thundered overhead. And just like that, the queen of Willowbrook's tyranny was done. Sometimes the biggest battles don't happen overseas or in courtrooms. They happen in our own neighborhoods against people who think power makes them untouchable. And the only way to win is to stand your ground.